Hi, I'm Lisa from Holistic Health by Lisa Moan, and today we're going to be talking about vegetables and how to get your kids to eat them. So, a lot of times when parents come to see me about their children, they know that their children need to be eating vegetables, but it's actually getting the children to eat the vegetables that's the problem. So, what we're going to talk about today is practical tips and strategies to get your children to actually eat the vegetables that you know are good for them, and more than that, to get them to love to eat their vegetables. So one of the easiest and funnest things to try is to buy a spiralizer, because kids are really quite fickle and quite easily impressed by something with a bit of novelty factor. So if you spiralize a vegetable, it can make all the difference. My children can't stand zucchini. So if I roast zucchini or grill zucchini or do anything like that where they can see it's a zucchini, they won't touch it. But if I spiralize the zucchini, my God, they love it. They have hours of fun seeing who's got the longest spiral, who can slurp it up like spaghetti. Like, it's so much fun. So invest in a spiralizer. Zucchinis are great. They're one of the easiest vegetables to spiralize, and they're a really good vegetable to buy organic because they're quite cheap and they're often in the organic section of the supermarket. So that's my number one tip. Try the spiralizer. Number 2 tip is building on that idea of having fun with your food and let your children play with their food. So lots of people would have the golden rule at the dinner table that you don't play with your food, but I actually disagree with that. And I think it's really valuable for your children to explore their food through touch, otherwise known as playing with your food. Because think about it. If someone put a blindfold on you and put you down to eat your dinner and you couldn't see it, you didn't know what it was going to look like, taste like, the texture, would you be comfortable in eating that? I really wouldn't be. I'd be really uncomfortable if I didn't know what I was putting into my mouth. And it's the same with kids. And the way kids explore things is by touching them, feeling them, rubbing there between their fingers. So if you deprive them of that, then they're going to be a bit anxious about what they're eating. So let them explore their food with touch before they put it in their mouth. And the first time you serve something, they might not even put it in their mouth. They might just touch it, and that's fine. The next time they get it, move on and try and get them to actually lick it or put it in their mouth. Now, my third tip is to have fun at the dinner table and make it a social experience. So meal times, especially evening meal times, should be about the family coming together and discussing what they've done that day. So it's a great chance for you to find out how your kids are doing at school, and it's a great chance for your kids to find out what you do with your day. And children that have meal times as a family develop a better vocabulary because of this. So then that actually helps them do better at school. And if you struggle to get your children to open up, because I remember when I was young, the question I was asked is, what did you learn at school today? Which every single time I would say nothing. So you have to be a little bit more creative with the questions that you ask to get the conversation started. And just simple things like, what was the best thing about your day today? Or what was the worst thing about your day? So at mealtimes, trying to focus on the conversation and the social aspect and less on the intensity of, oh my God, he's not going to eat his food. And then when the atmosphere is lighter, you'll find that your children will relax more and they'll be able to eat their dinner and things will get easier. So my fourth tip was a bit of a gem that I just sort of stumbled across, and that's the platter. So I discovered that if I just cut up mountains of vegetables and put them on a platter in the middle of the table, my kids will go nuts for them and they'll just devour them like there's some sort of food scarcity. I don't know what sort of psychology it is, but I just cut up lots of vegetables. So green capsicum, red capsicum, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, carrots, and just arrange it nicely like a rainbow on a plate. Put it in the middle of the table and let the kids help themselves. So I don't know if it's because it looks nice or it's the independence factor or what it is, but something happens with my children and they eat lots more vegetables like that. And I often do that weekend lunch times when I'm kind of rushing to get food on the table, in between activities, or even afternoon tea or dinner time. So try the platter because you don't need any special equipment. You just need a big plate. and see if it works for you. And my last tip is about your children have to be hungry at dinner time. So if your children are grazing and snacking all afternoon, when you put your dinner down in front of them, they're not going to be hungry and they're not going to want to eat. And that's brilliant, because you shouldn't eat when you're not hungry. And adults try to override this and just eat because it's a mealtime, whether they're hungry or not. But of course, we need our children to eat dinner at the appropriate time so they can have their bath and get to bed. So you need to make sure that they are hungry at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whenever you have your dinner. So you need to have 2 hours before that meal where there is no food. And parents often say, oh, well, I give them a banana before dinner when they're hungry. It's like, well, a banana is quite big and that's going to fill them up. So it has to be zero food. And if they're literally just crying and crying for food, they can have a carrot. Because children generally eat too much fruit and not enough vegetables. So if they're absolutely starving, they can have a carrot or they can have a cucumber. And I've seen my kids eat nearly a full cucumber when they're hungry, and it's easy to prepare. So that's the key. They have to be hungry, and you have to give them a window with no food before dinner to make sure that they are hungry. So all that sounds wonderful. I mean, we know that vegetables are good, but we struggle with getting our children to eat vegetables. And that's why in my new online course, Create Cool, Calm and Cooperative Kids, I have a whole module developed to fussy eating. So the course goes through the importance of nutrition and the effect that it has on a child's mood, so tantrums, focus, irritability. Another module is about what your children need to eat every day to make sure that they are as happy as they can be. Then in module 3, I talk about what foods you need to absolutely remove from your children's diet, again, to boost their mood. Then we talk about fussy eating. So there's a whole module just about fussy eating and more tips and strategies to get your child to eat a healthy meal. And then in number 5, we talk about the whole home and the lifestyle and what other factors could be affecting children's mood. And in week 6, we talk about what to do from there and how to make more improvements to your child's behaviour over time. So it's a 6-week program, and you can sign up now and start whenever you're ready, and you get lifetime access when you sign up. So I'd encourage you to click on the link below to find out more about this course. And if you think that you would like to boost your child's mood through food, then this is the course for you. So click below and find out a bit more about this 6-week online course. Thank you.